It still seems like we're having this debate on whether or not having kids is selfish. And I'm sure either sides of the fence, whether you're child free or have kids, has a valid debate on whether or not that side is selfish or that side is selfish or who's the most selfish and who's the least selfish. And as a mother of two children that I love and I will and have fought people over, I'm just going to say this. Everybody has a right to do what they want with their body and to have a family or to not have a family. But again, as a mom of two children whom I absolutely love, who knew she wanted to be a mom since she was little, I actually have a lot more respect for people who choose not to have children. I think that is actually the most selfless thing you can do when it comes to this whole scenario. And here's why. If you want to be selfish and pack up all your shit and move to Europe, that's only going to affect you. If you decide you want to quit your toxic ass job and work at a fast food restaurant for 2 months until you start your own business and get it off the ground, that's only going to affect you. But in my case, I grew up with a mom who basically only had me because she thought that was going to keep my dad around. My mom spent all of her leisure time in her room with the door shut on the phone with her friends or whatever guy she was talking to at the moment. That selfishness affected me because when I was 13, I told her I wanted to get rid of myself and she slammed the door in my face and told me I need to leave her alone and shut up. My sister and I got cheap clothes from like those box chain stores like Walmart, sometimes even smaller chain stores like Family Dollar. My mom would get more expensive, nicer clothing for herself. We weren't poor by any means at all. My sister and I, we basically learned how to cook because we had to piece together the scraps in our refrigerator while my mom got to pick herself up food to eat. Even as an adult, when I decided I wanted to go into acting and my mom agreed to manage me, she somehow never had time to find work for me or to talk about ways to push my career forward. And all of our calls concerning my career was nothing more than her venting about a guy whose career she was actually helping and getting him gigs. So yeah, everybody's selfish. I 100% get that. I hear you. I understand totally. But a parent's selfishness has the potential to completely fuck up a child. I just wanted my mom to love me. My mom was actually my first bully. My mom was my first hater. She would say shit like I was only pretty with makeup on, and just because I wanted to have a couple of pieces of bacon for breakfast, she told me I needed to lay off the food. That mirrored that, and I was always dealing with somebody who hated me, just like she did. Did my mom have a right to date if she wanted to? Yes. Did my mom have a right to have time on her own? Absolutely. But what she didn't have a right to do was do those things so much so that it affected her ability to parent me. I would rather somebody just not have kids and be 100% selfish and all about themselves than to have kids because it's this selfless act and it's a woman's most important job and then turn around and fucking hate and resent those kids and ruin their fucking lives to the point where they have to pay thousands of dollars in therapy. Most people have kids because they themselves want something. I wanted to be a mom. I wanted a family. Some people are healing their inner child and wanting to prove that they can be better than their parents were. They want to have this perfect family where the husband or boyfriend is doting over them and happily helping them raise this child. And everybody rides off into the sunset, and this child marries a perfect person too, and they make a lot of money and they have perfect grandkids for you, and everybody grows up to be president, and we run off into the sunset and take family pictures together. Nobody says, what if my child breaks the law and turns out to be a psycho killer? What if my child isn't conventionally attractive or is like the type of person that gets picked on in school? What if they have some kind of behavioral health or mental health or physical issues that cost a lot of money in order to take care of and need a lot of time? What if they need lifelong care? What if my partner leaves me? What if this tears our marriage apart? Nobody factors in those things when they're considering whether or not to have children. It's all based on the idea of this perfect little happy, beautiful family. I don't need anybody to pat me on the back or agree with my decision of whether or not to have kids because I was going to do it regardless. But I do possess the ability to see things for what they are, and child-free people do have an advantage. Statistics have shown that child-free women are happiest on the planet. Parenting is fucking hard, so I can totally see that. And there are just Like my mom, a lot of people who had kids and really fucking shouldn't have. And there are a lot of people who just don't see it necessary to do so. And I do have to say, I wish healthcare was better. I wish maternity and paternity care and time off was better. I wish women got paid equal to men or even more than men if they're more competent at their jobs than they are. There's a lot of things that I wish in this sucky ass world. But truth be told, it takes a lot of guts to go against the grain of what has been driven into society as what the ideal woman and family should and is supposed to be and do.